allegiance to the flag, and oh gosh, I don't see why I have to learn the old Pledge Allegiance anyhow. Oh, Pledge Allegiance. Why do I have to learn that? Pledge Allegiance.
You don't know why you should learn the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? You see, Porky, we Americans haven't always been as fortunate as we are today.
I just believe in the unique status of marriage between man and woman, and I know that we have a respectful disagreement on that issue. Respectful disagreement.
Now here is the United States of America as we know it, the land of the free.
Do you think it would be possible for someone to run and openly say, I support gay marriage and win? Do you think that's even possible? You know, I don't know. I mean, I had the same position for years. Yeah, I mean, I had the same position for years. And so I don't know what somebody could or couldn't do, but I've always believed that marriage should be left to the states.
The land of the free. Do you know what that means, Porky?
Define marriage.
I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman. Now, for me as a Christian, it's also a sacred union. For me as a Christian, it's also a sacred union. God's in the mix. God's in the mix. God's in the mix.
I thought so. I'm afraid there are a lot of us who don't appreciate our freedom. But these people did.
Well, not if it goes closer and closer towards redefining the traditional definition of marriage between one man and one woman. And unfortunately, that's sometimes where those steps lead. But I also want to clarify if there's any kind of suggestion at all from my answer that I would be anything but tolerant. Of adults in America choosing their partners, choosing relationships that they deem best for themselves. You know, I am tolerant.
They came to this great unknown country in search of freedom. Instead, they got...
No, we do not support that. We do not support that. That is basically a decision to be able to be left to the face.
I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.
And when George Washington signed that document, he laid the foundation for our great democracy.
Gee, that's wonderful. Then what happened?
Swine flu breeds in pigs, spreads then from person to person.
Bail out, makes you feel better if you get the flu. Bail out, I'd like to get a little bailout too.
Yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
And this country deserves, before you put a bunch of our troops into another war that we don't really need to be fighting, we want to know why.
What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Listen to me.
We don't want the Americans to build us roads or bridges. We just want them to live.
This is not some faraway place for someone like me. I mean, this is my home. If I'm living there and a bomb was to fall and you see your daughter's leg flying in the air or your wife is hurt, then it's very difficult for you to have a sympathetic view.
Then, Porky, began a courageous people pioneered their way into the unexplored wilderness.
Oh, Susanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I've come from Alabama with my banjo on my knee.
But the incredible hardships, the magnificent sacrifices of these gallant pioneers might have been in vain.
A relative discovered the murder victims Friday on this farmstead south of Humboldt. The victims were Tina Brandon of Lincoln.
That young man was killed in the commitment of a robbery. It wasn't because he was gay. The bill was named for him. The hate crimes bill was named for him, but it's really a hoax.
Actually, Shepard was killed by two men who pretended to be gay and lured him in.
Lawrence King was murdered because he was gay. On February 12, 2008, 2 days before Valentine's Day, King was shot in the back of the head in a classroom full of students by the boy he had asked to be his Valentine.
Within a week and a half, two 11-year-old boys driven to commit suicide, both enrolled at new schools, both bullied and taunted, labeled as gay.
That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know what? In my country and in my family, I think that I believe that a marriage should be between a man and a woman. No offense to anybody out there.
Hi, you're listening to show number 54 of the Lesbian Mafia, and I'm your host today, Nikki. I'm doing this intro because Sandy's being a cunt, and I really hate that word, but she told me to say that, but I don't hate it as much as I hate the word dope. That word is really old, and I can't believe it's making a comeback. It's really played out, and I was saying that word when I was in 6th grade. So, Sandy doesn't want to do the show today because she thinks she has the pig flu. And even though she knows that it's bullshit, she's convinced that she has it. And somehow I was just dragged into this. So much for being unscripted. God forbid I don't say exactly what I'm supposed to. I'm gonna hear it for a week. So, I just slammed my 2 fingers in my garage door. I'm on oxycodone. And I've taken so many days off from my new job. I'm 2 mortgage payments away from being homeless. And like every other idiot that purchased property and thinks that she really owns something, God bless America. Regardless, the bottom line is, we're all gonna die. We'll never be rich. So I'm gonna have as much sex as I can before 2012, the end of the world. I'm glad I had the opportunity to share these golden truths with you, so let's chat a little.